Thanks for tuning into the Hidden Tracks podcast. You can find us wherever you find podcasts or listen to music. When you have an opportunity, please give us a 5-star review, write a little note, tell us how we're doing. We really appreciate it. It helps us keep this thing going. If you want to reach out to us, you can find us at Facebook at Hidden Tracks. Instagram is at HiddenTracks99, and if you'd like to send in submissions or talk to us or give us any feedback about what we're doing, our email is myhiddentracks99@gmail.com. Thank you so much again for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy the show. Welcome to another edition of Hidden Tracks. Today I have Nathan Hussey of the amazing band All Get Out and also solo artist Nathan Hussey, or just Hussey. Welcome to the show, man. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. How about you?
I am good. I am alive and well. So that in and of itself is a great thing right now.
That's asking a lot.
Yes, for some people it really is.
Good God. Yeah. Thanks for having me.
No problem. We were planning on doing this a while ago, and I know you came up to my neck of the woods and were working on an album and producing. So how'd that end up going?
Great. It's for a band called Out of Service. I've worked on quite a few of their records, but this is the first time that I was able to actually travel and do the whole engineering side with them. Which is great. I don't have to fix everything, you know. It was great. It's a good trip. I was at Gary, I think it's Cioni. I can't pronounce his last name. Sorry, Gary. But I was at his studio, which was nice to be there and actually get to know him. And yeah, it was a good time. Not a bad time for South Jersey.
Yeah. And, the time of year too is good, but also the fact that you got to travel, man. So, I mean, you're a musician. You've traveled a lot.
Yeah.
You've toured a lot, and we just went through probably for some people, the most miserable 18 months you can remember. For some people, it was great. But I mean, how have you as a musician dealt with that? How have you felt or prepared, or did you take the time to sit back and appreciate some things, or did you just take that time to work harder?
All of that. Not to be generic, but there's at first it happened, or when it first happened, we had just finished touring quite a bit. We did, the year before that, 2019 with As Cities Burn. It was 2 tours, 2 very long tours back to back. I would call them legs of tours, but they were so long, they were 2 tours. And then we had, I think we did a tour with the Almost following that. And then right after that, I went and produced a record in, Boise, Idaho, for a band called Winter Forever. And it was that time that the word COVID started popping up. And people were worried about flights getting canceled. And then I got home. So I was pretty burnt right there. And I kind of liked it, for a moment. I mean, it's an incredibly selfish thing to say. I don't like COVID at all. But the way I took being pinned down at home was it kind of felt welcome for a moment. And I was able to buckle down and get a lot of work done. And then I felt like a crazy person. Just... you start to miss it. There's this narrative to touring. A lot of people's early albums are all about how much they tour or something, young 20s stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of I kind of felt that again, I guess.
Yeah. Well, and I don't think I hate that you think you're wrong in saying that it was selfish, because honestly, things can be selfish if you do. I think selfish is moniker, or where the true definition could come from is when someone says you're selfish, you're only doing something specifically for yourself and not caring about others and not doing anything for someone else. And all you did was enjoy that time and take that break.
Fair.
So calling it selfish is wrong, in my opinion. There's selfless, selfish acts, and that could be one of them.
Okay, well, fine. I'll take it. I enjoyed not touring for the moment. Maybe not selfish, but yeah. I don't know. It was just every album cycle is funny. Like you put out this record, which takes anywhere from a year to make it, or 2 years to write it, or however you do it. For me, it's always quite a few years. And then you go tour it, and then nothing really happens. Like there's growth, but like the level that you want to where you're just completely sustainable on it alone is elusive and virtually not real. Like unless you really do kind of level up, and it's like every album you put out and it doesn't do that, and you just kind of like want to break because you got to remember that's like 100 shows a year of just no. Okay.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why I started this, because there's so many amazing bands such as yours that I don't for some reason for me, and I guess it's because I'm just a huge music lover and love finding stuff and love what I love, that it breaks my heart when you can hear in a lot, and specifically with you can hear your soul laid out in the songs, and you can tell how much someone's putting into it, and they're not just writing that next, pop hook where something can catch somewhere so they can, live out that dream. Yeah. You're creating something that is unique and specific to you. And I can feel it through your music. And as you say, that grind, like that, it sucks. And I can only do so much. And I just want to continue like screaming from mountaintops, like, hey, listen to this fucking band, people. They're amazing.
It's funny. It's this thing to where like for a moment you feel like it's unfair. But then you kind of wake up to it and you're like, wait, man, also this is quite the fucking privilege. Yeah. Like I'm 36 and I still get to go tour. Not like I have permission to tour, but like there are still enough people around to validate doing like this run coming up in September. So it's a real evolving emotion, I guess. Like you have to, it means different things at different times and you have to kind of learn it. It's wild.
Yeah. And I mean, you just brought up, you got the run coming up in September. And one of the things I was worried about coming out of this was all the bands that have been sitting dormant, waiting for things to open up and watching certain venues disappear. And I was just like, this world is so big, but how is everyone going to get to go play? And
I don't know. Because even if it all opened up at once and was all safe, you'd have the bigger acts, that want to come through. They have they have the bigger teams. They'll likely have first dibs, because it's worth a lot of money and people want to go see that. And I do too, then you got the smaller bands and they'll have to kind of find their venue and wait their turn maybe. That's kind of just guessing, but now it's, I think there's a chance we could, lose all this again because some people just decided not to get vaccinated.
Yeah. It's freedom, that's the
freedom, man.
Yeah. I guess, freedom, man. And as I said to one person who said something to me, they're like, it's my freedom. I'm like, yeah, but it was my freedom too. And I chose to do what I felt was right. And that's freedom. So, but
it's so disheartening.
Yeah.
It really is. Like, oh, I can't do it. Sorry.
No worries. Let's not go down a CNN, MSNBC, Fox News tangent right now.
As long we seem to be on the same page. That's all that matters. Please go get vaccinated, people. Please.
So let's talk about some more interesting things, and that is music, and that is why you're here. And I want to find out some awesome things about Nathan and where it all began and how it all started. And I'll start like this. When you were a child and music changed for you, Do you remember who or what song it was that completely changed? Like that was no longer a cartoon theme song or Disney soundtrack song. Something. Do you remember what changed when you realized music was something different?
There's a couple moments. If we can categorize, I grew up in this. First off, I grew up in this super Christian home. We had like the DC Talk albums.
Michael W. Smith.
Wow 99, Wow 98. So we had, those records that, I'm not a Christian now, but back then I felt like I was, connecting to something for sure. And if we exclude like Metallica was my bad boy disc. my mom kept finding the Black Album and throwing it away. Like I had 3 copies. Just kept throwing them the fuck away. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to exclude all the ones that don't count. There's also like, like puberty, and you hear a love song for the first time. You're like, yeah, I know. I get it. It's late for me. And the first time I think I really felt it or found this like mood in me that either wasn't allowed to exist or I didn't know existed was getting Achilles' heel, Pedro the Lion. It's just the very first, that big D major, the bands with managers, just right at the top. It's like, oh, okay, we are sad people, and it's fine. Like that resonated with me, and that was the shift. I got a little obsessed with it, but I got it so late. I was a senior in high school at this point. My buddy Mike Rogers, who he played bass on The Season, he gave it to me, and it just sent me on a path. That was the first time I really felt something that resonated with who I am, and I was unfamiliar with who I was, so it was a very special thing.
And I mean, he's got quite a story behind him as well, which is, I think I've said it before on the show. If you haven't seen the documentary, you got to check it out.
Man, I still haven't. The one from a couple years ago, right?
Yeah.
Ugh,
it's pretty fascinating.
Shame.
It's one of those things you sit down and you're just like, oh man, like I never listened to the music. I never saw this full struggle he literally deals with all the time, which is nuts, but it's very good. Check it out, people. So were you playing music as a child? Did you have the pivotal, piano lessons that everyone's mom usually forced them to take?
Man, I got guitar at 13. And that was it. It was just all way the fuck downhill from there. We had a piano in our house, and I could chord things and figure things out. But we got a guitar from this sweet old lady at our church. And then I bought another one that actually worked from a neighbor, and then we were good. And we played it. Like I said, it was a small town church thing, so it was guitar
youth groups and getting together.
Yeah. Any chance to play.
Now, I mean, Metallica, that was thrown away 3 times. I mean, but was that a driving force when you were listening to music and going to youth groups? I mean, I had somewhat of a little bit of experience like that as well. But that harder music that's what started pulling me away and being like, there's this vast world out there that I know nothing about.
It's a much shorter period of time than I thought. Like, we'll say 15 to 22 isn't really a long time. I mean, for a 15-year-old, that is. But,
well, yeah, when you're 15 to 22, that's a long time. When you're 36 to 43, that's not very long.
Yeah, that's tomorrow. But so I had all this like Christian music coming up, and then some, like whatever. We grew up in a lot of country. I like country still, but
real country, not bubblegum pop country.
Not bubblegum pop country, real
Okay.
country. But got to include 90s pop country because that is gold. But yeah, so I think I was 17 or 18 when I got those Pedro records, and then I also got like a mixtape. It was a mix CD, kids, don't worry. Mixtape of Copeland and Death Cab and Coheed. So I got introduced to some, we'll say rock with a Coheed, but more so it was just kind of indie rock with Death Cab. Also remembering we were just getting like Napster, LimeWire, and all that stuff too. So the hunt for music was on. But yeah, it did become this driving thing though, like to get these other things, but it wasn't necessarily rock. It was like indie rock. But then the whole point of the 15 to 22 is around 22-ish, I finally got Every Time I Die. And that was a turning point for me. Because I never understood how people fucking deciphered hardcore. It just didn't make sense to me. And then all of a sudden I heard them, and they're just kind of a rock band. But it made sense to me for the first time. And that's definitely been inspiring for how live shows go for us. And yeah.
Yeah, well, you guys play loud.
For sure. There's some hollering.
Yeah, you guys play loud, but it doesn't. It's one of those things where, as I like to say, like I can listen to albums all day long, and then when I see a band live, one of my favorite parts is usually being harder or louder than I was expecting because I wasn't. It doesn't come off that way on an album, right. And then it just blows my mind, and it gives me a newfound appreciation for something I knew I already liked, and I just heard it differently now.
Do you find bands exceed your expectations, or they let you down more often? When it comes to that,
I would say majority of the time they exceed my expectations.
Fuck yes.
Yeah,
that's good to hear.
Yeah, I definitely want to say, like, when I go see a band and it's just harder and heavier and louder than what I heard on the album, and I literally get goosebumps. Like, I'm talking about it now. I remember took my wife years and years ago, and when we saw Manchester Orchestra for the first time live, and
loud,
just I mean, they were turned up to 11, and yes. I was not fucking expecting this off of their first album, and I see that I'm like, holy fuck, this is amazing. Yeah,
you know what they also do that makes me happy? They have like their fans have strong brand trust with them too. Like it's this nice like ecosystem, and they can release a record that's not as rock as their last one, but no one is ever disappointed. And I feel like it's because they know they're going to go to the live show, and those songs are going to be just as loud. You know, I've been thinking about that for a while.
Yeah, and there's, I mean, like, for me, kind of something that started that way. I mean, I'm older than you by a bit, and I mean, the first time I saw Radiohead, I think it was 1993 at the Bowery Ballroom in New York City, open for Belly. But I remember having Pablo Honey and being like, wow, this is a great record. And I go see them, and how loud I couldn't believe how loud it was. And I was like, this isn't the same band that I was listening to. Like, this sounds like a cover band playing their songs just really loud. And I think that's when I started to be like, oh, it doesn't have to sound like how they recorded it
at all.
Because it's different. It's a different situation.
Yeah, and recording is a different art than performing as well. So like the translation for a band like that is never going to be the same. Just cool though. You get two different things.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. You get two different versions of the same song that you already loved. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. And then seeing a stripped down show, like there's times where I've gone to shows and like seen an acoustic show of a band that I love and that are usually really loud. And I'm like, wow, now I hear the lyrics and I hear how he's singing them slower. And it just, now it's a different song again. And I love that. I just love that you can have so many different versions.
Oh, yes, absolutely. My favorite thing is to add different dynamics to new songs. So we have a habit of slowing like just sections down. And it is just the most absolute fun thing to do.
Yeah, and I mean that's one of those things too where breakdowns in songs. Some people do it just to do it, but when they're placed correctly, it can just take a song to another level.
You know what? I feel like you can't go as a band. You can't go about it like kind of premeditated. It has to be something like that evolves over a lot of touring.
Yeah.
Like you don't talk about it. It just starts to happen. And all of a sudden you've got these super nuanced parts where everyone's on the same page and no one has said a word about it. Mm-hmm. It's awesome. In fact, it's the most disappointing part of writing and recording new songs because like the moment you finish the record and you go tour, you're like, oh God, this would have been so awesome if we just did it this way that we're doing it. But that's the nature of it. I mean, you can go, tour and try out new songs, but also you might bore your fan base a little bit if you're just playing new songs that aren't released.
Yeah, well, I was talking to a guy and he had said he started to work on things where things started to sound, he tried to make new songs sound like old songs, and he would talk to people afterwards just to get their reaction, and he'd be like, dude, you played a lot of old stuff. And he goes, I honestly played 2 old songs. And it's like, these are all new songs that I haven't released, but it was like he kind of tried to record them to see if he could even get any. And he was like, more often than not, he goes, no one knew. He goes, but when you make a song that is a little bit different, they know right away.
Oh, yeah. They can hear the evolution.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you ever worry about that when writing new stuff?
Somewhat, but maybe in the other direction. Like we have a new record that we're kind of wrapping up now. That's what I've been mixing a lot of it all day today, and like a lot of it is fresh, and I like that because we've done the All Get Out thing for 3 whole LPs, and it's just loud telly rock. Little hints of country, little hints of hardcore, like this. It's just kind of the thing, right? And there's some songs that are, to me, way different, and I feel less nervous about them because I don't see the other thing like pushing me forward at all.
Mm-hmm.
I can write telly rock, and I will, but it's not going to make the band any bigger. Which, to be clear, isn't the exact point of every song, but anyways, but these other songs I've noticed are just they sound like old All Get Out, and I don't know, I keep thinking about them like, I don't know, sometimes I'm ashamed. I'm like, this just sounds like 2008, but then sometimes I play them like I'm going on a run or something. I'm like, oh man, this sounds like 2008. I'm kind of excited. So I don't have a clear answer for you, but I do think about it. But it depends on the day. Like some days, just like the record on the whole, this new one is the best thing I've ever done, and then some days it can just get deleted.
Yeah, well, so I think that's
I'm not to be trusted. So saying.
You're not allowed to be trusted with your own creation.
No,
Dr. Frankenstein.
That's me.
So,
nice.
I mean, I think that's what music offers us, though. I mean, I think it gives us that opportunity to, one day you may not feel it, and then the next day you completely feel something. I mean, I have that thing where I heard something for the first time. I'm like, this is straight dog shit, and I shelve it, and then come back to it, and I'm like, 6 months later, and I'm like, what the fuck was I thinking? Like, this is amazing.
Man, I'm trying to find this lyric that I just thought about because of that. Granddaddy sprinklers, 3 a.m. Sorry, that sounds stupid.
Nothing
Yeah.
sounds stupid.
Okay, fair enough. Are you a Granddaddy fan?
Yes.
So this song, what is it called? The Group Who Couldn't Say.
Mm-hmm.
Where is this? There it is. So this is always the goofiest song to me. And I pass it up. I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. I listen to Someday like twice a week. I can't help it. I'm just hooked on it still. I think this record is like 2002, maybe. It's old. But this lyric, like it's the same idea. Like something just goes past you, and all of a sudden it connects. And the sprinklers that come on at 3 a.m. sound like crowds of people asking, "Are you happy what you're doing?" Like that lyric hit me walking through a grocery store yesterday, and about just fucking sent me to the floor. It's like, oh my god. The sprinklers that come on at 3 a.m. sound like crowds of people asking, "Are you happy what you're doing?" Fuck off. Gosh.
Thanks, Dick. I just wanted rye bread. What the hell?
No, oh my god, that you get completely existential. Like, especially like things like that. Well, this is to your point earlier, kind of like these things start to mean things a little different as you like age and how you process where you're at and what you're doing. So for me, still doing like the band alongside other things, but they start to mean different things. They start to hit different, and that one just took me down.
Well, I also believe music doesn't hit you until you're ready for it too. So, you know, and that's what's great about it, because it's always going to be there. I mean, especially if you have something physical. Digital sometimes can go away, which I hate when people put music out and then they, you know, a year later, like, yeah, I guess this wasn't what I wanted, and all of a sudden it disappears. But I mean, it's always there, so you can always go back to it, and you can always find something, you know, that at one point you were like, yeah, no, this isn't for me. And then all of a sudden it's everything you never knew you always needed in your life.
Yes. Yes. God, yes. I can, we can just open the Pedro catalog and we can talk about that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's agreed. And I'm very lyric centric. I like music for the lyrics. The music is obviously huge, but like I couldn't care. On most days, I couldn't care less about the pop hook. I just want to get rocked by like a quote unquote fire line.
Well, I think that's somewhat what we miss nowadays too. Is as I sit here and stare at albums and CDs all in front of me, that just picking out something and being able to read what they're saying, because a lot of times it's hard to completely understand lyrics depending on how something's produced and recorded. But when you start hearing it and you read it, or read it as a poem, or, you know, as a short story, it takes on a life of its own. And that's kind of that deeper meaning, where I think people just listen to a lot of music nowadays and look for the hooks, and if they like it, they like it, and they don't take it any further. Now, nerds like you and I, who are, you know, like lyrics, it means more. It means more to us to be able to connect that way.
It really does. And I mean, we're not alone by any account. You know, I have friends, and some are other artists and some are just plain friends, and we geek out on this as much as possible. But I hate that there aren't more of us. Is my point. Like, it's just so important, and it's kind of, I don't know. To me, it's where the art is. Like, and it's not about saying something, you know, drastic or dramatic. It's just saying something that just connects uniquely, or it would seem unique. You know, like, I don't know.
And it's being able to connect, and it, you know, and it's being able to touch, you know, that someone out there that didn't know they needed it, you know, when they can feel like, oh my God, I know exactly what he's feeling when he wrote this, or when she wrote this, or they wrote this, you know, like I get it. And that means so much to people. And I don't think enough people speak up when it does mean something to them. So, you know, and that's when, if someone creates a masterpiece and no one told them it was a masterpiece, was it really a masterpiece?
Right. But you know what, too? Like, I guess it's a sense to me of like when something connects, it feels obscure to me. Like this lyric I was saying about the sprinklers on at 3 a.m. This guy is singing about a computer. I mean, the whole album is, right?
Yeah.
For anyone who doesn't know, Granddaddy Someday, SUMDAY. I don't know. It's not about what I'm going through, but it is absolutely about like mentally where I'm at, a few times a month. And it feels like such a unique thing. Like, how could this possibly exist? And I don't know. It's funny. Like, this line isn't universal. It's not meant for everyone. And it feels like it's meant for you only, almost.
Mm-hmm.
But it's meant for several of you, and it's meant for several of you at a time. And I'm not saying it's necessarily like, I don't think Jason Little was like, saying, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make something super specific for year X, Y. But that's what happens. So, and I don't know, that's what connects for me. It's like, it's this sense of you're not alone. So you're not too far gone, like this is life. And here's proof that it's for someone else as well.
Yeah. And I think that's what music is too. I think it's something for us to latch onto. And, I've said it 100 times. When you create something and you put it out there, it means something totally different than what you intended it for, because somebody takes ownership of it. I take ownership of your music. When you release a new song and I listen to it, I probably think of it completely different than what you intended it to, but now it belongs to me, so it's mine.
Yes. But that's the great thing. And like, from an artist's perspective, like, yes, you're welcome to do that. That's the whole fucking goal. But that's kind of why, like, when you get into like PR stuff or just like social media PR, where it's like, here's this song. It's about the time I felt blank and blank because of blank. Like, I'm sure we've done it at some point, but it drives me crazy because that's just not what it's about. Like, I can tell you the specifics, like that No Bouquet record is, my jumping off point for most songs was this like shitty Star Trek series with Scott Bakula, like the bad Star Trek. But I was watching it at the time, and I just kept writing things down from the show, and they were cool setups. And it's like, okay, that's where I'll start. It ended nowhere near where I started, but like to someone else, that like it means, I don't know who was touched by that record, but like the hypothetical that someone was, it might mean something like personal to them, or they might think it means something personal to me. In which, of course, it did. I just used it as a starting point. But if I go out and say this song's about this episode of Star Trek, it's I'm sure again
you put
I'm sure
people off that liked it.
Yeah, like this isn't about the thing at all.
Someone was asked once when they were asked that question, what was this song about? And the answer was, what's the song about to you?
That's the best way to put it, right?
Yeah. And I mean, that should be always the answer. But listen, sometimes you get wrapped up, you talk the PR stuff, you have to answer certain things, and someone's always looking for the answer. What's the answer?
Yeah, and they're trying to help you move your records, sorry, that's an old way to put that, isn't it? They're helping you get your record around. And I get it, and I'm not shitting on anyone who does that, because not all bands really care about, they're not about the lyrical content, or you might not even call it art. They might not. I don't know. Everyone's different, so I'm saying, but do you? I'm just saying I would prefer for the future to not do that, because I think that, for this genre of music, I think it's important and not like dismissive to just say, hey, what do you think it is? Like, I think you put it best.
Now, I'll ask you a question that I need an answer for.
Oh, no.
So you brought up the genre thing. And for me, I know things have to be labeled so people kind of have somewhat of an idea of what they're getting into. To me, everything's just music, but we do have to genre label. What would you genre label yourself, or All Get Out, or...
That's a hard one. Like, I haven't thought about this in a couple of years. I did kind of land on a while back as just kind of saying alternative rock. It's just simple. Like, alternative rock does not mean like Black Hole Sun. You know?
It's not your mother's alternative rock.
It's not your mother's alternative rock, which is a great thing. I try not to give people sound bites, but holy shit, you can have that one. It's not. Wow. The one part, if you had to get like real specific and real forum-y, one of my clients called it emo adjacent alt country. And it's a joke, and someone made like the emoji with the hat, and then someone stole it, but whatever. But it's pretty accurate.
Just a mouthful.
I mean, it's also like a little southern emo adjacent alt country. But no, I think alt rock is the best way to put it. Though I do feel this new record is a little more on the indie rock side. I don't know if that's a term that translates the same as it did, as
years ago. No, I don't think it translates, because now there's indie rockers who are just fucking gigantic, and great music. One I'll put out, which is huge right now, Phoebe Bridgers. I mean, I loved her when I heard her first cover of Manchester Orchestra, and then I dove into her. I was like, this is great. And now she's, they call her the indie darling, but are you the indie darling if you're on Saturday Night Live? You're no longer indie. I'm sorry. We got to take that away from you.
You're just winning, and it's fine.
Yeah, good for you. I'm happy because she's extremely talented, but I'm sorry, you no longer are allowed to have the moniker of indie.
Yeah. Too, I think of like, it's two ways, because I record bands too, and a lot of what I try to put in there is to inject a little bit of the indie into things, because a lot of the bands I take on are people who have been working from a bedroom. So, they might use software instead of amps, or lots of drum samples or something. So they end up learning this really polished, gridded thing. Everything's perfect because it has to be. And I try to inject in this like looseness to them, like, hey, let's use some real drums. It's okay that you're not in time because everyone else is also not in time. Just to kind of create this feel thing. So there is this like, there is a sound to indie that is not synonymous with lo-fi, which also I'd have no idea if translates anymore, because it also meant something different.
Yeah,
but it also meant something different even before my time too. So
yeah, because how many people are really recording analog nowadays to have your lo-fi? And
my God, so few. Hopefully more, because analog still rules. It's still the sound of all your favorite records. Anyways, I can go on about that.
Yeah. Well, you brought up earlier that you got your guitar and it was all downhill from there. So
yes.
Going back to that stage when you got your guitar and you were learning to play, did you have a goal? Was there a goal that, for a band, everybody has that when they get their first instrument? I just want to get together with my friends and we're going to start a band. And then you're playing horribly in a talent contest at your high school. But some people stuck with it and continued it to go. But what was your goal when you said it went all downhill, but I know by listening to your music, it didn't. But did you have a goal in mind?
No, not really. Unfortunately, I wasn't the most goal-oriented person. But I did. I left my hometown, Sumter, South Carolina, and I moved to Charleston for college. I only lasted there for 2 years, and then I hopped in a van with this band called the Explorers Club. They needed a bass player. I got to tour with them. So I did my first U.S. tour, came back, and then I started All Get Out. So that's not necessarily, it wasn't a goal, but it's how I got there. I guess there was one goal. I was really worried about paying off my college stuff. But I wanted to get
you and 80 million other people.
Oh my God. Yes. Don't get me started. Jeez. But, I remember coming back. I was like, I'm going to quit this band. I'm going to... No, I was just a fill-in. So it wasn't like a quitting something I started. I'm going to try my own thing. If it doesn't work, I'm going to just, try to pick up where I left off. And that's how I'm here from that. But, there were goals after that, but they were a young man's set of goals.
Do you remember the first time you performed live and that wasn't at church or in front of people you knew?
Let me think. I can say I can maybe speak for All Get Out. Yeah, I remember it was Charleston. What was this place called? It's closed down now. But it's where I don't know if you're familiar with the area, but it was downtown and it's where the Apple store is. Okay. So every time I walk into the Apple store, it's where like one of our first shows was. Kind of weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, definitely. I remember playing Columbia, which is probably also one of our first ones too. I
have family in Columbia. My sister was a Gamecock, so.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, my sister lives there too. I'm from about 40 minutes away from there. Yeah.
Well, how about you specifically? When you were younger, did you perform live?
Yeah.
In that talent contest or?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was just like a high school talent show. Yeah. It was just filling in though. I didn't sing. I could do harmony stuff. I've always been able to do that, but I didn't sing. I didn't develop my voice until like after the season. Like I had no idea what I was doing.
Well, do you remember the first song you ever wrote? You yourself?
I'll say the first complete song was "Watering God," and that's from our first EP.
Okay.
Which was a pretty okay first song.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
I already took it, so.
Okay, I'm processing this. Sorry, these aren't questions I've asked myself.
Well, you should, because you're going to get a lot crazier ones that you're going to get mad at me for. So.
That's okay. No, yeah, that was my first one. It created some weird bad habits though that I still fight. Where like I'd write a section, I'd be like, "Yeah, that's great," and then just like sing it over and over again and not carry on, like not get to the next line. It's been a lot of deconstruction over the last couple of years to like get rid of that habit, because that's how I wrote every other record, was just write a verse and be like, okay, well, I'll finish that next year. Ugh, so annoying. Yeah, give me your worst. What's your worst question?
Well, I'll get to the worst towards the end, but I'll
ask. We'll let it.
So here's one. If no one had ever heard All Get Out,
mm-hmm.
What's the song you would play for them so they knew who you were?
Is it terrible if I say a new song?
It's not.
Okay. It's a song called Feeling Well.
Okay.
It is. It's my favorite All Get Out song.
Awesome.
It's about.
Welcome to the shameless plug of our show today.
Yeah. No. Hey, wait. You ass. No.
No.
It's just the literal. It's the sum of the discography, and it's also different. It just speaks to me about what it's been. Not to be meta about it either. It's not like it's a song about the songs, but I don't know. I feel like I started to understand something with writing.
Did you have that feeling when you were done writing it? Or was it after, a couple times of running through it and then recording it and being like, yeah, this is it? Or did you have that feeling like when you were done, you were just like, I think I did
it? Funny. I don't know, actually. It was one of those things where I created this new... we just keep riffing. I hope you don't mind. I kind of came up with this like new thing where I need some discipline to writing. I need to not be so precious about these things. Like, I don't need to just like write one verse and put it down. Like, if I'm going to be a writer, I'm going to be a writer. So I started this thing where I would, go further back. I started this exercise where I would let the pen touch the paper. Melody and progression, that's no problem. That's fine for me. I don't feel like the well is ever empty there. But I would, have that in mind. I put the pen to the paper, and you don't let the pen up, and you write a whole song. You just it's 30 seconds, just straight down the page. And a lot of it's garbage. Like most of it's garbage. And can you imagine just right now just typing out a whole song? But I did that for a while. And I would just wake up in the morning, have my coffee, do a song. Do it, just keep doing that all week. And then finally I'd look at those sheets and I'd start to comp things together that just either are just a standalone good set of lyrics that make me feel something. I don't have to know what they're about, but they make me feel something. Pull that over to the right and then kind of dig through and find a bunch of them that do that and kind of rebuild a song that way. And then you take that new compilation and start to just edit away. Just wake up, open the notebook, edit this and turn the page over, do it again. And I kept repeating that process. So I actually, this time is, and maybe that's why it's so special, is this time I spent time. It wasn't finally the page is filled. That's a song. I know I'm careful. I'm not careful. Sorry. I should be careful not to oversell this, cause it could mean jack shit.
No,
but
it's how you feel about it, which is awesome. And
yeah,
I mean, to analyze it and put an analogy on it, you open up your cupboard and your spice rack has 50 spices, but at the end of the day, you don't put them all on your steak. You dwindle it down to the select few that are going to make it taste good.
Salt and pepper, baby.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I'll take that. So I love craft a lot. So sometimes I might carry on too much, but I don't know. It just feels. It feels like I found what makes me write well.
Yeah, your formula.
Yeah, but hard work does not equal good. I want to make sure anyone listening knows that hard work.
This podcast will prove it to you. I mean, hard work does not make it good. I mean,
oh shit.
No, I'm talking about myself.
No, I know.
So, shit. Yeah. Well, whatever. I listen. I don't care. I have fun. I enjoy this conversation. So fuck anybody else that doesn't think.
You're right. That's at the end of the day. I'm not here for the money, so I could say fuck doing the music as well, because it's mostly for me.
Yeah, and again, it goes back to that selfish act. You're not hurting anybody by being selfish, but you're creating it for yourself, and then let everybody else take what they want from it. And if they don't like it, they fucking eat crow.
Eat crow.
Old whippersnappers can eat crow.
You just sold yourself out.
Yep, that's there awesome. It is. There it is. Old guy.
1980. Nope. Sorry.
So in all your years of touring, it's been quite extensive, lots of shows. This is going to be this is a two-parter for you. And listen, I want to start out by saying it doesn't make somebody less when you give me your answer.
Okay.
But who is the best band you ever played with, and who is the best band that you ever got to see live?
Ooh. Man, that's a tough one.
I told you they were going to get tougher, man.
So I'm trying not to just like draw from my like usuals here.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna not let the same band be both answers.
And again, to
so
other
one of my
bands out
favorite
there,
bands
doesn't make him any less. I want everybody to understand that.
Well, most of them are indie bands.
Nathan's not shitting on any other band he ever played with, but these are, something that he enjoyed more than you. But.
No, I'll shit on him. Let's go. Just kidding. So best band I've ever seen live?
Yeah.
Damn it. Man, that's so hard. That's not fair.
I know it's not fair.
You set this up.
I did.
I gotta go with Every Time I Die.
Okay.
But I know there's a lot attached to that. Like, they were one of my favorite bands. It was on a tour that I literally had spoken to existence. Like a few months before the offer came up, I told our management, like, what would be ideal? Taking Back Sunday and Every Time I Die. How weird would that be? And then a few months later, because it doesn't make sense, right? And then a few months later, I got this call. I was like, all right, you're not going to believe this shit. Like, oh, no, you're right. So probably the best band, like the best show.
Mm-hmm.
Which is not to take away from best fan, because they were very kind to me. They knew I was a fan, and they were super cool about it.
That's awesome.
And what was the other superlative?
The best band you ever performed with on tour.
Oh, right. Well, I can't do Take Out Sunday or Every Time I Die because that's the same tour. No, I'll bite. I try not to mention these people too much because I always say we sound just like them. Fuck them. Manchester Orchestra is an incredible live band. Like you get like you get the gentle moments, you get the obviously live moments, you get the organically live moments, and then you get the big things. And then you get like, you ever have, they have these big moments, right? These huge moments, and you see the band just sit back. Like, they just lay back. They don't have to move around. You expect them to, but the moment is so big that as an audience member, you're the one moving, and they don't need to. Like, it's the coolest trade-off. It's such a power move. It's like, no, you dance. You know what I mean? I've always admired them about that. I'm lucky to call them friends. They're very kind people, and they put on a very, very amazing show, and they make spectacular records. So
yeah, they definitely do. And for a live performance, I've seen them numerous times, and it's just crazy every time I see them.
To riff further on them, you asked about like early days and stuff. A lot of, this ties into the writing thing. They were people that we knew. They weren't a big band, and then all of a sudden they were just gone, like on the road. They were just gone, like, a few 100 days a year or some shit. And like, for me, I just did like an EP. They actually released it on their label, and I thought, well, damn, I guess you just tour. That's all you have to do. That's it. Cool. Because for me, that's just, running from society. But like, I don't know if that's what we did. So we were heavily like influenced in work ethic and like what needed to be done by them at an early age. Because we were all just babies,
Yeah.
But what I missed, and this is what where my head's at a lot of times, which is, are you happy what you're doing? Sprinklers. It's going to stick with me for a long time. But my head should have been in writing, just write more, just write all the fucking time, be obsessed with it, like be able to hear a line and just like break down, or hear a line and just be able to critique it. I don't know, like just be able to get caught up in it. And I missed that moment. I didn't have it when I was younger, and luckily I think I wrote okay songs, but
they're better than okay. I'll say they're better than okay here.
I'll take it, and I'll just tell you how to help.
Yeah.
But it did click with me when we made a record together, the Quitter record with Andy and Robert. That was when I kind of realized a lot about writing. But yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, no, listen, it's a great story. And to hear you say what you probably should have been focusing on is great, because you realize that, and even though it's now, you're still creating, and now you've figured out what to focus on. Some of the problems sometimes is people go their whole life and never figure that out.
Yeah, they do.
So you're a lucky one.
Well, I sometimes feel like I still haven't figured it out. But that's the adventure. It's fun. I'm here. I'm having a good time.
Good. Now, meteor's going to crash into the earth.
Okay. It has.
Yes, it has. But and you have to listen to one song, and you only have 5 minutes. What song would it be?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Told you I was going to start fucking you up.
Man, you did. Oh, man. I know it's a meteor coming. I know what it is. I know the end is coming.
But you have to listen to a song.
It's more than nigh. Woco Reservations from Yankee Hotel Foxtrot.
Okay. Awesome. Well, that was pretty quick. I like it.
Well, it's a song that means a lot to me. It's one of those songs where I caught the lyrics. It's just, I've got reservations about so many things, but not about you. Oh, fuck me. That's huge. That's absolutely enormous. It's so sorry.
Not as enormous as a meteor that's going to crash in a couple minutes.
No, but because it is, I can deal with it.
Yeah.
Because I'm not. There are so many good things that happened in my life, or meaningful things that happened in my life, that I don't have any reservation about you, which is the exact opposite of that lyric. But I can spin it however I need to feel better about dying.
All right. So now you're gone. Okay.
Okay.
But it just so happens that some people survived, and they have to have funerals for people. What song would you have played at your funeral?
My funeral. Man.
Listen, they don't get any easier.
They don't. Apparently, this is a bad path, bud.
Sorry, man. I know people don't like to think about their mortality, but I ask a question like that, and
I'm okay.
I give you the background behind it because I've thought about it.
Okay.
So
dark.
I asked the question. Yeah, it's dark, but I asked the question because I'm like, I can't be the only one that has ever thought about this. But in the past couple episodes that I've asked this question, I may have been the only person to think about it.
Good God. Oh man, I'm gonna have a cheat sheet here. Hold on.
Cheat sheets.
It's just a fucking playlist. Oh man. What I want people to hear at my funeral. Fuck it, I'll go with No Son of Mine every time I die.
Okay.
Like I want that. They're gonna catch some riffs, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I get it.
Okay.
I get it. Yeah, I have two that I stick by, and then that's how I roll. So
fair enough. All right, what you got?
Let's get back to something a little more about the world and industry of music now, which is all the streaming and the Spotify and your Pandoras and all that kind of stuff. And I get different answers from different people. That's why I like it. There's this new sense and new way that people have tried to create music because of this thing called algorithms and putting them out. Have you, in your creation, do you ever think about that at all? Because I know some people create one song, and we're in the world of singles. We're in the world of, here's a song, 3 months later, here's another song. And I'm an old school guy where I'm an album guy, but I get why they're doing what they're doing. But do you, as a band or as a solo artist, do you think about that at all when you're creating?
So some of my band is aware of these things. But I'm also a little bit older than most people in my band. I think in terms of albums. I don't plan on changing that. I don't know. I hardly like EPs, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like I get them. I've made them. Sometimes I like a tour EP. There's a purpose to these sets of songs, though, in each case. You know, one was a set of B-sides, one was yada, yada, yada. But I hear it as an LP, and, you know, it's weird. These people might be more successful. These people might actually make money from this type of thing. And that might be the difference between, like, them and myself. But I do not, and probably will not, intentionally create a song based on what's selling, basically, is the question, I think.
Okay.
Like, you know, I won't weigh it against the algorithm. I'm not going to say they won't be similar sometimes, because, you know, good is good and pop is pop and rock is rock. But yeah, it's not in my wheelhouse to do that. I think making honest music is not doing that.
Awesome. Like
but
honest
also
music.
not to shit on people.
No, you're not. That. No, I completely get it, and that's one of my things too. Where I'm definitely an explorer when it comes to music, and I'm a archaeologist. I love to just find old stuff. I love to find new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But what happens to me a lot of the times is I get into these moments where, for some reason, I could be going down the Bandcamp rabbit hole for hours and honestly find nothing that is appealing to me. And what's funny is I don't get it. Like, I'm like, there's so much good stuff out there, but people are putting stuff out there. And listen, I'm going to say it. Some people put out straight up dog shit when it comes to music. And then you see their followers, and then you see their sales on Bandcamp and their streams on Spotify. I'm like, how the fuck did this happen? And it's not like, and it's a song that, like, there's no chords. There's like the lyrics mean absolutely nothing. You sing about an Air Jordan in one verse, and in the next verse you sing about how much you love your mother. And I'm just like, what is going on? Like, how is this a thing? Like, and that upsets me. So someone who writes honest music, I mean, do you even pay attention to stuff like that?
I do not. It just, like, yeah, it gets to me. Like, you know, I try not to be the old guy on my lawn about it, but not that you are, but we could be, right?
Yeah.
I feel like we're closer in age than not.
Yeah.
But I don't, man, it drives me crazy. I don't get it. Like, I try not to waste energy on it if I can. Like, though it's not in my, like, job description to have to go searching for that. Thank God. But yeah, it does baffle me though. Like, you know, like, why does this do so well when other things don't? But then again, like, you know, I also see who's at shows and what shows. We've done shows, like tours where, because this isn't, sorry, I'm making noise here. There we go. We've done tours where we were playing with these pop punk bands, or kind of pop punk. One was and one wasn't. We did The Story So Far and Citizen. Mm-hmm. Great bands. But the genre, like the fans, they're not there for, like, our type of thing. We did a tour with them in the UK, And it was, it's nice to play in front of a few thousand people, but did it connect with any of them? No, not at all. Made some cool pictures,
Yeah.
but it's just it's the type of people listening to that. Like maybe they just want like something more easily digestible, or something with like, I don't know, maybe it's a history to the band that they like. I'm not sure. Those bands don't have bad lyrics about songs, but the ones you're talking about, I'm trying to rationalize them existing. Coming up a little short, but yeah, I don't know. But all to say, there are genres that just people don't like want, like the Southern emo thing. They exist.
Yeah,
or don't.
And that's sometimes, listen, I enjoy going to shows sometimes where there's a band that I never thought I would be interested in opening for another band, someone that's different. And sometimes it's fantastic that people
Sometimes.
are okay when I see people that I know are there for one reason, and it's, the headliner. And
Yes.
then if I see it connect with, the opening band who really doesn't sound like anything the headliner is, and I see it connect and I see a look in their eyes or see them talking, I'm like, that's awesome. That's what it was supposed to do.
Yeah. Yeah. I've known when those moments have happened, like when we've connected with someone who wasn't expected. But at some point too, though, like you do get a little tired of like playing for a good crowd, but realizing like the numbers you're connecting with are in like the tens.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's exhausting when you've been touring your whole career and you see you've always playing with these bands that are connecting with the thousands, and you're still there looking for those like maybe double digits. Like, hey, I get you. It's a funny thought. Like it's not always that way. Like what this tour we're gonna do coming up, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be great. And sometimes sometimes we do a tour where we do awesome, but like that connection's funny. I still feel great about it, but like when it happens, but
yeah. Now you mentioned your tour coming up. Have you played live at all?
No.
Before? No. Okay. So this is going to be a new experience. I mean, and that's my thing too. I haven't been to a show since March 11th, 2020, when it all happened.
Whoa.
I was in New York City at the very last show in the city right before the world shut down. And I don't know how to react. I don't know what it's going to be like. And I'm sure you as a band just getting ready and booking up a tour, I mean, you got to have some trepidation about what it's going to be like in that feeling out process. I mean, have you thought about that a lot? I'm sure you have, or if you haven't, you're just not wanting to think about it.
I'm trying to partition like that off because I've been moving and I've been catching up on work and traveling. I'm trying not to think about it until September 1st. It's going to be
yourself mad.
Yeah, because show anxiety is real. Like it doesn't matter how long you've been playing, it's still there. And especially when you haven't done it in over a year.
Yeah.
I mean, what's that? A year and a half? Is that what that is?
Yeah, year and a half.
That's insane. I need to do the math on when our last show was. Yeah, I think if I'm thinking about it, I'm quite nervous, but I'm also equal parts excited because there's a lot of feeling that comes in and out when you play, especially for something like this where it's a 10-year release, or 10 year of the release of the season, and so it's kind of got a built-in crowd. It's a very fun celebration. So the stakes are high, but also the fun is way up there.
Mm-hmm.
we get to pretend we're a big band. You know what I mean? Like you just kind of go out there and have fun, and yeah, I think I'm more excited than nervous. But there is some stuff where I'm like, okay, I got to start singing September 1st. I got to like get into shape. Oh shit! And the tour is only 5 days, which is basically how long it takes to get in tour shape on a tour. It takes about that much. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm nervous because, of course, being an idiot, the first two things that I booked for shows are two music festivals.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm not like breaking it in slowly. I think it's because I missed so much and I've been waiting for it. That like festival popped up, bought tickets right away. Another festival, bought tickets right away, and I'm just like, wait, I may have screwed up. I probably should have like got something at the local firehouse first for a local punk band to try this out.
So you're doing Furnace Fest and what's the other one?
See Here Now Festival in Asbury Park.
Oh, fun!
Yeah.
But were you at our show there with Aaron Gillespie?
Yes.
Funny.
Yeah.
That's a good show. Weird place for us to play for sure, but I liked it actually.
Yeah, it's actually. I mean, they're
it's
doing
so
a great,
big.
Yeah, they're doing a great job down there now, and one of the coolest places is Asbury Lanes, where there's bowling going on while the band's
right.
Yes,
it's very big. Is the only thing.
Like, yeah, it's big. It can get loud and echoing if people aren't into it, but I mean, it's just cool that things are happening, and yeah, I totally now, and I'm looking for little shows that I can go to first now, because I'm like, oh my god, September's going to be here, and back-to-back weekends I'm at music festivals. What's this going to be like?
You have to get in shape to go to shows.
Yep.
Fuck. Okay, I might be screwed.
Sorry, I put that on you.
Man, no. I think you're going to have a good time, but I also think I'm going to have a good time.
Yeah,
I'm excited to get to see you. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm excited too, man. And that's my thing. That like with all the shit that's going on now, I'm like, this has honestly been what I've been looking forward to. Is this whole show started in front of people, and being together, and it's we moved on to doing it, virtually now, but like just being with people, I miss it so much. I miss sitting down, with you right next to me and us just fucking talking and enjoying what we're doing. And this is, it takes on a life of its own. And I've been so excited for this moment to just be there with you and, other artists that have been here as well, and just be able to get to fucking hang for a little while.
Just enough to hate people again.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. Like I want to get there, be so excited and just be like, okay, so
okay.
I need to go over here now.
Yeah. These guys litter. I gotta go.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm in that boat. I'm also ready to like see people. I did have like before Delta came up, I'm vaccinated. I did actually get to have like dinner at a place once. And I thought it felt so dirty. Like I was like, oh God, I'm so bad. But it was awesome. I got to like see another human for a minute. And then Delta popped up and I was like, yeah, I'm not doing anything until the tour, which hopefully as of now it's still on. Everything's still good, but
yeah. And I hope it stays that way. I hope, listen, and I hope it stays that way. And partly because of selfish reasons, because I want to enjoy myself, but in another way, I want those of you who are creators and that life on the road is, for a lot of people, that's where their income comes from, and it's not just that, it's the PA guys, it's the roadies, anybody, they need that. And I want that for them, but I also want it for myself.
It sounds like you have most people in mind. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Well, I'm looking forward to meeting you in person, and being able to tell you right to your face that what you do is meaningful, and I really enjoy everything you do. So thank you for that.
Well, hot damn, man. Thank you.
All right, so couple more questions for you, and we'll get you out of here.
Okay.
So one of them I think already know the answer, but do you have a favorite band? If someone had a gun to your head and say, "Give me your favorite band right now," I know it's a generic question, but
it's okay. It's a hard one because I don't evolve as much as I should. So these answers have been, spoken to many. And for the longest time, I would say like a Pedro the Lion record was going to be like my favorite band. I try to think about what I listen to the most. Can I tell you my favorite band for this year?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go with Granddaddy.
Okay.
It's not like it's the first year I've had them, but
it's something that you connected with for a long period of time that you may not have been expecting to connect with it for that long. I totally
because there is a pop element to it, I'll pop loosely, but like there's this hooky thing to it that I've always connected to and loved. But I don't know, for this year I have just been listening to their records so much. So I'm just going to call it that.
That's awesome. I love that answer.
Well, thank you.
Now, do you have a guilty pleasure, something that someone would be like, look at you differently that you like? And listen, I know we're at the point in our life where, and I always preface this, don't give me the cop out of, listen, man, I don't have a guilty pleasure. Everything's no, because that's what people are like, oh man, and I get it, but there's that 1 millisecond that somebody walks in and catches you listening to something that you really like, and they're just like, what the fuck?
Oh man. All right. Well, I can't decide. I think I do have the answer.
Okay.
And it's a fascination. I am fucking fascinated by Fred Durst. I like seeing him pop up on the Lollapalooza thing,
with gray
like
hair and his handlebar stash.
I know, the old man thing. I'm watching the video. It's like, y'all need to get up. Like it's just, and but it's been long before this. Like it's always going on with me where I've just been kind of just like, I gotta listen to him. I gotta know. Like I need to know why. Like this was enormous, and I remember when it came out. Like I remember, like '99. I remember getting
fucking
humongous. But also for me though, I didn't have punk. I didn't have emo. So I got like 98, 99. Someone had this like $3 bill y'all record, or whatever the year was. Or my neighbor had the Family Values tour VHS tape, like that. Like so, I didn't know there was other genres. I was like, that was like as hardcore as it got. It was some guy just fucking yelling, like that's cool. Holy shit! I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know that there were hardcore bands, but I would probably have to be them. I will say there's some other honorable mentions. I absolutely love Chevelles' Wonder What's Next record.
Okay.
And I love also that the guy, from what I read, this could all be hearsay, doesn't like that record. The singer doesn't like that record because it's a quote emo record. Which I totally see.
Yeah. Makes you love it even more. And it makes you more emo to love it more.
God damn it. Yes. So that's, but it's not like an ironic thing. Like I genuinely like that record. And then I don't think this is guilty pleasure. I need to be informed. Because I listen to things for like recording too, because that's my work, right? Yeah. So I need to know what sounds good and what classically sounds good too, and to kind of bridge the gap between some kid wanting nothing but drum samples and then like me trying my best not to make them regret it 5 years later.
Yeah.
But my God, where is it? Silverchair, Neon Ballroom.
Okay.
I don't think it's a guilty pleasure.
I don't think it's a guilty pleasure, and that again is
it gets close.
It does get close, okay? And I understand that it does get close. And there's a lot of things too that fall into that category that is it or isn't it, because it could I think it's the way that it hit, and because it was Silverchair was so big so quickly and they were fucking 15.
Yeah, they were absolute babies. I can't even like imagine like these lyrics sometimes catch me. I'm like, wait, how old was this guy? This ain't right. This is not. I can't like this lyric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, but my thing with them is like they kept going. Like they didn't go anywhere. And that's what people think too. Like, they didn't go anywhere. They kept making albums. They're
Oh
still
yeah.
making albums.
Oh, I know. Well, they
And
still had Frog Stomp and is it Diorama?
yeah.
Which I don't know the order. I know Diorama's later. Those did well
Frog
though.
Stomp is the first one, I think.
Oh, Frog Stomp, Neon Ballroom, then the other one.
Yeah. But
Man,
so I get it. It's literally you're teetering on that line. You're on a tightrope, man. And a lot of us are with some music like that.
Yeah, they have what I think of as I think we're the same generation for this, but like when the year 2000 song, like it's got "We are the youth," like this is really like with it, we'll take your fascism away. Like, oh, all right, kid. Like, but it to me though sonically it is Batman Forever music. Like I think of like these rave parties and this like was that this Tim Burton era. I don't know why, but to me the genre is Batman Forever music.
I get it.
Okay, it's pretty silly, but that's just where it is.
Yeah, I'll give you one, and I'll put it out there for people too.
Right.
So something that came out recently that, all right, because you brought up Silverchair, but
right.
Remember the band Hanson, the Kids?
Yeah.
So there's a new song called "Against the World."
Okay.
When you're chilling, just check it out.
Let me go ahead and you're into this.
It's honestly, I'm listening to it and it's not horrible. I heard it and I was like, what the I'm like, this sounds a little bit. And then I listened to it and I was like, well, it's not terrible. But they're adults now. So
that's Hanson. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, all right. I've got it queued up. We're good.
All right. Yeah, you can shit on me for it. So I'm totally fine with it. But
oh yeah.
But yeah, if somebody heard me listening to it and they're like, dude, is this Hanson? I'd be like, well, yeah, it's good though, man. You don't understand.
You don't know me, Dad. Get out of my room. No, oh fuck, do we have any more guilty pleasures? So let's see. I think I'm gonna stay with Limp Bizkit.
Okay, listen.
But I do want you to know it is a fascination with like how they just decided to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And also they keep touring. That's what it was. It was a YouTube rabbit hole because they still tour, but touring like they'll do festivals, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because why not? Like why go tour? You don't need to do that. Just do festivals. And you're that size or we're that important. So it's just so fucking funny to see them like 2017, like maybe no record they're promoting. They're just out there like dressed up, doing their whole thing, and they're just nailing it.
Still living off of that Nookie money,
Nookie money. Holy shit. Yeah. Like but they're doing what they should be doing. But it's just amazing that like, oh my god, this is their world. This is like they have this thing. It's so great.
If you're fascinated by them, HBO did a documentary. They're doing these musical documentaries, and they did it on Woodstock '99.
Oh
and
my
a
God.
lot of it had to do with Limp Bizkit. Check it out.
Holy shit! I gladly will. I still that was the age of having a family member that just got broadband internet. Holy shit. Yeah, also there's I'll leave this point alone in a second, but maybe it's a bit of a disconnect between growing up in a time to where we didn't have such proximity to like bands we like. Like nowadays you can absolutely communicate with your favorite band if you try hard enough.
Yeah.
Or like you go talk to them at a show, you have access to their worlds and they're giving you that. So there's not like this exclusive TV network like MTV or VH1. There's not this thing that's separating you from them. So now it's the same interface. You have Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, Twitter, like you're there with anyone. So for me to see a band like Limp Bizkit that was, they were on, playing these live shows for model runways on the beach or or just, these music videos that were number one on was it TRL?
Yeah, TRL.
Oh God, it was these untouchable people, and now it's just like, oh wait, they're just like any other artist. They're absolutely at arm's length, like not like a whole road away. I don't know. It's just incredible. Like it never was actually any different. It just felt so different, and they also are just a fucking enigma.
They are.
It kills me. I'll get off of it, but yeah.
All right. So, last question for you.
All right.
Before we get to wrapping this up, so I can get you out of here. I know you're busy and just moved and got a lot of shit going on. So,
thank you.
If you were to no longer be able to create music, how would you most like to be remembered for your art?
Ooh.
I know self-reflection is tough.
I know it's kind of cut. This is back to the 3 a.m. sprinkler line. Damn, man, you're a bastard. God.
Are you regretting now agreeing to come on?
No, it's fine. I think for me, it would mean the most if I was remembered for my writing and for the impact it had on a few. I would hope not to be considered generic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it.
I would hope to be, I guess, understood. And yeah.
Yeah, and I'll tell you now, you're far from generic. So,
well, thank you. I say that with a little bit of conviction because I only, and this isn't, digging for a compliment or anything like that, but I only feel recently like a writer, and it's part of that is because early on I just I wanted to be good at being in a band, so I toured as much as I could. That's all I did. That's all I knew. I found I was good at like hacking it. I could be out there and survive, but that wasn't what mattered. And my eyes opened up a lot when it came to the Quitter record. And like No Bouquet, I was really experimenting with like how I could write in a hurry, like trying to find where it is in me. And then recently I feel like I found how to create what is the most meaningful to me. So hopefully at least that journey is something people can see. People who care about this type of thing. No judgment if you just listen to music for a beat or pop feeling or whatever. But if you're a listener of like songwriting, I hope it's something legit to you. Honest music, as you called it. Yeah, I'm trying to be careful with that because it's a little buzzwordy. It's you get like.
Listen, I'm using it as the soundbite for this episode. So.
Oh Jesus! No, no. You see, like typically, I'm sure I did this when I was young, but you'll see like a younger band, like we just made the most honest record we could. Like, I'm sure you did, and just like when I was releasing the season at like 25, I'm sure I said this is really honest or some stupid shit. Oh God!
Yeah, but at the time you felt that way, So, and then when you look back on it, and it's okay when you say something because at that time that's probably how you felt. But later on, you're like, I was a douche for saying that. Well, it's just I was so not like emotionally aware, but like saying things like you were, which is it's you listen to a young angsty record, you expect some arrogance, so it's fine. It's fine. But no, I yeah. All right. Good one. Yeah. Good answer. Thank you. Man. This is like therapy, man. I appreciate it. And do you take Blue Cross, Blue Shield? We only take Cigna now. We had a problem with our after fighter. But
oh my goodness gracious. Health insurance.
So let's wrap this up. We'll get into our this is our segment of weekly threes. It's 3 things you're listening to right now. Could be, audiobook, could be music, could be something else, but 3 things you're listening to right now that you'd like people to check out.
Okay. Well, I've talked about a lot of them.
Granddaddy, right?
Granddaddy, yes. I just tweeted about this too. Actually, I'll just go through my list right here. There is a podcast since I've been driving. I listen
it's
to
called Hidden Tracks. I know it's pretty
called Hidden Tracks. You're right.
Yeah.
It's pretty dumb. Oh my god! Sponsored by Squarespace. No, stuff you should know. I think it's an Atlanta podcast. If I'm correct.
Yeah, no, I've heard it. Yeah,
so fucking great. I listen to it for every long drive because they're roughly 40 minutes an episode, and so you can really break down a drive from, like Alabama to South Jersey. I will say, let's see. I just finished a record of my own that I can't talk about, other than I was heavily influenced by listening back to In the Aeroplane Over the Sea by Neutral Milk Hotel. Nothing new there. Though as I get older, it's funny how much that record is about sex, and I don't know why. There's no reason for those things. No, I'm just kidding. It's really funny. But also Bad Books too. That's been what the last couple of days were for me. I think that's some of their best writing for both of them.
Yeah, I think I saw. I want to say Bad Books was probably, I think, October of 19 was one of the last times I saw that here in Jersey City.
Yeah, man. I bet
Brother Bird opened for him. I don't know if you know her. Yeah, and it was pretty awesome. Great show.
If you hear breathing, that's my dog. She's
no worries. We've had dogs on this show plenty of times. We had a squeaky toy going off in one episode, which I thought is awesome. And I put the disclaimer: don't have your dog in a room while listening to this.
Oh, cute! Yeah. Well, I will say that Bad Books 2 is a good representation of both of them because Andy and Kevin, you get the after party, which I think is some of Andy's best, and you get It Never Stops, which is maybe my favorite Kevin song ever.
Nice.
He also says my birthday on the song. So
awesome. So I will give you my 3 for this week.
Yes, please. Which
Action Adventure. It's action/adventure. There's an album called
Action Adventure.
Pulling Focus. They're a Chicago pop punk band, but they're young and they're really good. I was very, very excited to hear their take on pop punk, and it's
okay.
I'm a fan. I'm definitely a fan.
Fair enough. Got it.
I have Margot and Nuclear So-and-So's.
Yes, sir.
Vulgar in the Chapel. I don't know why, but I've just not been able to turn it off. I guess I know why.
I don't know this record. 2018?
Yeah. Really good.
I will know it tomorrow.
Yeah, some of Richard Edwards' really good stuff. And last but not least, a band called Summer Wars. They're another pop punk band, but they did a nice stripped down version of a lot of their songs. Borrowed Time is one of their albums that's really good, but they did a lot of stripped down versions of that song, reworked them, and it's really it again, like I said, takes on a different meaning to what they originally created, which I really enjoy. So
awesome! I've got all these marked.
So those are my 3 for this week. And Nathan, I'd like to give you an opportunity right now to tell all of our listeners and your fans who may not know already, but how to find all the stuff that you're doing and to keep on the lookout for, throw all your handles out there for people to check you
out. You can find us, I believe, allgetoutmusic.com. Let me actually double check that. Yay, allgetoutmusic.com. It'll have all of our socials on there, which will just be I'll get out at anywhere. Spotify, Apple Music, all of them.
Anywhere you get your music.
Anywhere you get your music. Please find the tour dates, see if we're coming near you. at the end of September.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank you so much for being here. This has been an absolute pleasure for me, and I know it will be for our listeners as well. We appreciate everything that you do. I love your music. Can't wait to meet you in person in about a month and be able to talk some more and maybe enjoy each other's live company. I'm vaccinated too. I'm vaxxed and ready to fuck shit up. So.
Oh yes, vaxxed and ready to fuck shit up. Oh man!
Sorry, that was a little Fred Dursty of me, wasn't it?
No, it's you didn't have the tone right. Everything's got to kind of Oh my god, I'm ready to also fuck shit up and to say hey to you in person. I would like to say please get vaccinated. Some jackass on Facebook said enough of the waterboarding. When it came to me saying come to the shows, get vaccinated, I would like that asshole to know that my grandma died of COVID, and it would be really cool if you didn't use waterboarding as a reference to someone choking. So just get fucking vaccinated, you jackass. Sorry, I get so fucking mad. No, it's so stupid.
I get it, man. God. I get it. Trust me, you're not alone.
Sorry, we can edit that if you'd like. I don't know.
I'm not editing it. It's a service announcement. It's fine. Okay.
No, it's just the internet was not made for everyone, you know?
No, it wasn't. It definitely wasn't. It's a shame that everyone has access to it.
I know. God almighty. Anyways.
So, all right. Yeah, we're going to wind down here. And you know how we do this, people. Listen to All Get Out. Look for Nathan Hussey's solo music. And go out and have a great fucking time doing it.
Yeah.
Thanks again for tuning into the Hidden Tracks podcast. We hope you enjoyed this week's show. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at HiddenTracks99. Also, send all your submissions myhiddentracks99@gmail.com. Tune in next week. You may find your new favorite band, and don't forget to go out and have a great fucking time.